Very good afternoon, dear students. In the previous classes, we have learnt about functions of marketing. Under functions of marketing, just we have gone through with two concepts. One is function of exchange. There we have learnt function of buying and function of selling. Under function of buying, again it's subdivided into three types. One is function of planning, contractual function, function of assembling, negotiation and contractual function. Under selling, function of product planning, contractual function, function of demand creation, negotiation function. Here, under buying, function of planning in the sense, here the buyer should have a pre-plan before purchasing of the product. Here they should have to know their own demand. What is their demand? Either they should have to go for purchasing the product according to their need and satisfaction. That's why here the buyer should have to plan before purchasing the product. Here they should have to know the quality, quantity and the quality and quantity of the product, demand of the product, either the product satisfies according to the need and requirement of them. Under contractual function, we have seen that identifying the source of supply and which sources the supply can be available in order to go for purchasing of the ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಯಾವ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ನಮಗೆ ಆ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಏನು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಸೆಂಬ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಈವನ್ ದೋ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಪ್ಲಾನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಬಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ the product which has been produced from the different places can be available under a single roof, under a single ownership in order to satisfy the need and want of the customers according to their need and requirement. Grouping the A to Z products under a single roof is called assembling. And negotiation and contractual function. Negotiation and contractual function is nothing but here you will go for negotiation and contractual function. Here negotiation in the sense having a contract between the buyer and seller to go for purchasing of goods and services where the transfer of title takes place. Under selling, the function of product planning. So the product planning is nothing but here the seller should have a pre-plan before submitting the product into a market. Here the seller should have to identify the satisfactory product from the starting point of marketing itself in order to fulfill the need and requirement of the customers. Here the seller should have to know the satisfactory need and want of the customer. And contractual function in the sense it refers to the location of buyers and maintaining the contacts with them. ಯಾವ ಲೊಕೇಶನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಸು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟನ್ನು ತಗೊತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಅದನ್ನು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಬಿಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತಾನೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಚುಯಲ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಷನ್, ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ಸೆಲ್ಲರ್, ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸೆಲ್ಲರ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್. Here you should have a demand creation towards selling of the product. That's why here you will go for having an advertisements, personal sellings, and you should have to know the creational demands like advertising, personal selling, promoting the product to satisfy the need and want of the customers. That's why here they create the demand. And negotiatory function, that is nothing but again it is a contract between the buyer and the seller. So this related to the functions of exchange. And the second point you have function of physical supply. Under that we have gone through with transportation. Transportation is nothing but movement of goods and services from production center to a consumption center. Production center ಇಂದ ಕನ್ಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. And next you have storage. Storage is nothing but stocking the product. Here the product should have to store from the point of production to the point of consumption. ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟನ್ನು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಆಗೋ ತನಕ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟನ್ನು ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ವಿತೌಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಎನಿ drawbacks, either any damages to the product. Here they should have to go for maintaining the product. So here 2 points we have discussed in the previous class, that is function of exchange, function of physical supply, and today we are going to discuss about facilitating function. So under facilitating function, first point you have financing. Finance in the sense, finance is the lifeblood of any business. From the starting point to the end of the business, you need the finance. Right from investing and purchasing of the product and movement of the product and satisfying the need and want of the customers, still from start to the end of the market, we need a capital, that is financing. Either to go for investing in a location, that is place, investing in the technology, investing in the raw materials, making a payment to the laborers, purchasing of hi-fi technologies, maintaining the standardization in the products. Each and everything here we need the capital, either the financing. Without finance you cannot go for involved with the business activities. That's why either investment should be takes place in the building, furnitures, technologies, raw materials, either paying the salaries to the employees. This all requires the finance. So that is the financing. And risk taking, another important facilitating function in the market is taking of a risk. So many times we will say that where there is a risk, there is a return. Always risk is uncertain in the nature, where we cannot predict certain risks. Take example of natural risks like floods, tsunamis, earthquakes, accidents. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಮಗೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ರಿಸ್ಕ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Certain times we can predict the risk, certain times we cannot predict the risk. Take example, any damages occurred while producing of a product, either having the demand and supply of the product and changing in the value of the money. Here ಏನಾಗತ್ತಂದರೆ, no one has expectation that COVID-19 is going to be arise and entirely the monetary transactions value will be fall down, and the sense not the value of the currency but the demand for an amount. Financial crisis ಈಗ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ನಮ್ಮದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಇದೆ. Everyone is struggling very lot to lead their normal life because of this COVID-19. That's why risk taking. Suppose if you are dealing with a business activities, you are involving in the business, always you are ready to bear the risk. Where there is a risk, there is a return, but always risk is uncertain in the nature, like floods, tsunamis, earthquakes, ಈ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ಸು, ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟು. ಸಪೋಸ್ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ಲಿ ದ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮೇ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸಸ್. ವೆನ್ ದ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸಸ್, ದೇರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್. ಸೊ ಆ ಥರ ರಿಸ್ಕನ್ನು ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಲ್ಲಿ ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್, another facilitating function. Here the person who involves with marketing activities, here they should have to go for gather the detailed information regarding the marketing, day-to-day fluctuation of the market, who are the present new competitors arises to the market, what is the competition prices in the market, who are the competitors, what is the strength and weakness of others, and what is the own strength of your company, weakness of your company. So these all the things you should have to know. When you doesn't have the perfect information regarding the market, again you are going to get a failure in the market. That's why here we should have to go for gathering the detailed information in order to purchase the products to satisfy the need and want of the customers and to improve the overall market. And next you have standardization and grading. Standardization refers to maintaining the standardness, either establishing the standardness in the product in order to satisfy the need and want of the customers. That can be depend upon the demand of the product, size of the product, color of the product, features of the product. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಮಗೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಸರ್ಟೆನ್ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಟು ದ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ನೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್. Customers will prepare product on basis of color, size, designs, qualities, quantities, price. So, maintaining the overall grip, either standardness in the market is called standardization. Grading is nothing but after producing of a product, after standardizing of a product, here the goods can be subdivided according to the standardness uniformity. Here they will go for dividing the product by knowing the grades. For example, you know that when we are segregating of a product, we will give grade 1, grade 2, grade 3 like that. High quality of the standard product will have a grade 1. Second quality will have a grade 2 like that. That's why here well defined to grade the product, because here the individual units will give main preference towards the standardization as well as the grading of the product. So, standardization is one of the important concept which establishes the standardness of the product depend upon the size, quality, quantity, everything. And after standardizing the product, we will go for grading the product. Grading of the product will depend upon the grade 1, grade 2, grade 3 like that. Just take example. I will give the example for grading. You all aware regarding the farmers market. Take example, if any one of the farmer will go for producing of a tomato. So, once the crop has been came, ಅವ್ರೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಟೊಮೊಟೊನ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಹಾಕೋಬೇಕು. ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಎಂಟರಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಎನ್ ಎ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಸಗ್ರಿಗೇಟ್ ದ ಟೊಮೊಟೊಸ್. ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರೋ ಅಂಥ ಕಾಯಿನೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್ ಅಂತ ಇಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮೀಡಿಯಮ್ ಬಂದುಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಬ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ತುಂಬ ಲೋ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಬಂದುಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಬ್ಯಾಚನ್ನು ಸಗ್ರಿಗೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಗ್ರೇಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್. ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈಸ್ ದ ನೇಮ್, ಲೋಗೋ, ಸಿಂಬಲ್, ಟರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್. ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಗೆ ನೇಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಅದರದ್ದೇ ಆಗಿರೋ. ಸೊ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈಸ್ ದ ನೇಮ್, ಸಿಂಬಲ್, term, logo of the product is called branding. Branding is very essential in the market because to identify their own name and fame, either to create a goodwill in the market, because most of the customers will identify the product through the brand names which has been already created in the market. ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಗೆ ನೇಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದರದ್ದೇ ಆಗಿರೋಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸಿಂಬಲ್, ಚಿಹ್ನೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟನ್ನು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕಿಂಗ್. ಐದರ್ ದ ಕಂಟೈನರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕಿಂಗ್. ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ಯಾಕನ್ನು ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟು ಲೀಕ್ ಆಗದಿರಾ, ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟು ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜನ್ನು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ದಿರಾ, ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಸೇಫ್ಟಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾವು ಪ್ಯಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸರ್ಟೆನ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಲೀವ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಎವಾಪರೇಟೆಡ್. ಟೇಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಬೂಸ್ಟ್, ಹಾರ್ಲಿಕ್ಸ್, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಪ್ಯಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಇಲ್ದಿರೋ ಓಪನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಡಿ, ಅಲ್ಲೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಇದು ಎವಾಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಗಡ್ಡೆ ಕಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡತ್ತೆ. ಟೇಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಸರ್ಟೆನ್ ಮೆಡಿಸಿನ್ಸ್, ಸಿರಪ್ಸ್, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಆಗಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಪ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಡಬೇಕು. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಪ್ಯಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜಸ್, ಐದರ್ ಎನಿ ರಿಪೇರೀಸ್, ಐದರ್ ಲೀಕೇಜಸ್, ಐದರ್ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ ದಟ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಕಂಟೈನರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವೈ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಎ ಪ್ಯಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಟು ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಸೇಫ್ಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಈಸಿಲಿ. ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಪ್ಯಾಕಿಂಗನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸಪೋಸ್ if you are a consumer, if you go to a particular shop to go for purchasing of the product, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕ್ ಓಪನ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ನಾವು ತೊಗೊಳ್ಳಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇಫ್ಟಿ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಪಾಕೆಟ್ ಲೂಸ್ ಆಯಿತು, ಓಪನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಲೂಸ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅಂತ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ಮ್ಯಾನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ it involves the direct personal contacts of selling with the buyers, because here the salesman will give the advice to the buyers regarding the product, quality, quantity, price of the product and the different products available under the same companies. The details, salesman in the sense it is a direct way of communicating, either pushing the product into a market where it gives the detailed description regarding the product which is going to be enter in the market. That is called salesmanship. ನೀವು ತುಂಬ ಜನ ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ಮ್ಯಾನ್ಸನ್ನು ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರ, ಡೋರ್ ಟು ಡೋರ್ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಸೇಲ್ಸನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಪೇಷನ್ಸಿಂದ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ನೀವು ತೊಗೊಂಡಿರ ಇರಲಿ, ದೇರ್ ಮೈನ್ aim is to give the information regarding the product. And next you have sales promotion. Sales promotion in the sense it is one of the facilitating function of the marketing, because where it acts as a key element for the entire marketing strategies. ಆ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಟಜಿ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೋ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೀ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಮೋಷನ್. ಪ್ರಮೋಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್. ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಮೋಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನು ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಮೋಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸಿಂಪಲ್ಲಾಗಿ ಆ ಪ್ರಮೋಷ್ನಲ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಇದ್ರೇ ನಾವು ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ವೈವ್ ಆಗೋಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅಡ್ವರ್ಟೈಸಿಂಗ್. ಅಡ್ವರ್ಟೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ನಾನ್ ಪೇಯ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಷನ್ where it can be reaches to millions of people at a time, because we have different types of advertising like paper advertising, magazines, email advertisings, posters, wallpapers, like that, radio advertisement, TV advertisements. So that is called advertising. So these are all the facilitating functions. Once again I will repeat the points: financing, risk taking, market information, standardization and grading, branding, packing, salesmanship, sales promotion, advertising. So this is very important for your 14 marks. Define marketing. Briefly explain the functions of marketing anta keltare. So there you should have to write the meaning and you should have to write the points first, then you should have to go for describing the points, and finally you should have to give the conclusion, because conclusion involves the 2 marks. So by this your introduction to marketing will be complete. In the next class we will see, that is also related to the first unit only, recent trends in marketing, where you will enjoy that. What do you mean by telemarketing? What do you mean by e-business? What do you mean by mobile business? What do you mean by green marketing? Like that. So in the next class we will see the recent trends in marketing. Thank you, students.